See, as the paper style is given to you, according to that paper style, we are going to conduct our revision videos. You will get total 3 revision videos that we have categorized into different sections. Like your first revision video means your today's revision video, it will be all about 2 marks of questions. After that, you will get 3 marks of questions videos, and after that, we will revise some of the questions which is related to 4 marks in the another video. In that also, we will discuss that which type of objectives can be asked in exam. So, as per the blueprint, as we all know that we have received the blueprint in this way. Now, what does it mean? It means that the 70 number question will be of chapter number 1, 80 number question that will be of chapter number 1. Or 1 means there will be a alternative questions in question number 80, then question number 90 of chapter number 2, question number 20 of chapter number 5, question 21 that will be from chapter number 6, and here also you will get the optional question that will be from chapter number 6 also. Same for question number 22 and 23 that both will be from chapter number 10. 24 that will be from chapter number 11, and in that you will have an alternative question from chapter number 11. For question number 15 that will be from chapter number question number 25 and 26 both will be from chapter number 15. Now let's discuss that in a flow of chapters. Like if we talk about, there will be 2 questions from chapter number 1. So let's discuss that which questions are there from chapter number 1 which can be asked in 2 marks. So generally we know that why chemical reaction take place, why or when we can say, when we can say chemical reaction is done. So yes, we know that if there is change in color, there is change in state, there is change in temperature, or if there is evolution of gas, in these cases we can say that chemical reaction has taken place. Okay, also we know that different types of chemical reaction. Types of chemical reaction. In that we will have combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, and redox reaction. So just discuss the definitions of these reactions. First, combination reaction. So what is called combination reaction? When 2 or more than 2 reactants, they combine with each other and form a single product. So that is considered as a combination reaction. In decomposition, there will be a 1 reactant which will break down into 2 or more than 2 products. So that is considered as decomposition reaction. In displacement reaction, we know that the more active metal will displace less active metal from its salt. In double displacement, both of the metals will displace the another metal from their corresponding salt. And in redox, that is combination of oxidation reaction and reduction reaction. Now beta, what is called oxidation reaction? The reaction in which oxygen is added and or hydrogen is removed. That is our oxidation reaction. In reduction reaction, as we know that if the oxygen is removed or the hydrogen is added, that is called reduction reaction. And if there is any reaction in which this both happens together, so that is considered as the redox reaction. Now we must also know that the type of decomposition, in that there will be three types of decomposition. First is thermal decomposition, after that there is electrical decomposition, and at last we will have photon decomposition. If the decomposition is done by heat energy, so that is called thermal decomposition. If the decomposition means the breakdown is done by passing electric current, that is called electrical decomposition. And if the decomposition is done by light energy, so that will be considered as photon decomposition. So this way, as we know that in whole of the chapter we will have some of these concepts, and how we can revise these concepts. First we must know what is the definitions of combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement and redox. Also we must know their examples, right? So we will check these examples in detail. Now let's study it. So first, let's talk about combination reaction. Now beta, what will happen in combination reaction? As we study that when two or more than two reactants, they react with each other and give a single product. So that is called combination reaction. We can understand it like this: A plus B gives AB. Right? We can also understand it with this example: carbon plus oxygen will give us carbon dioxide, means burning of carbon, right? So that is our combination reaction. When more than two reactants, like suppose if we have a reactant A, B and C, they react with each other to give a single product, so that will be our combination reaction. We will also have different examples, like if we talk about ammonia, so N2 plus H2, here it will be of 3 moles, we will get 2 mole of NH3. So here also you can see that the two reactants, they combine with each other to give a single product, so that is our combination reaction, right? So this way other reactions also we can prepare. Then what is decomposition reaction? In that we will break down it, we will break down the reactant and we will make two or more than two products, so that will be our decomposition reaction, right? Okay, so this way it can be asked to you in 2 marks that write what is combination reaction with examples, right? So in that case you have to write first the definition, then the common equation and then examples. This way we are going to do for every type of chemical reaction. Similarly, this we can also do for decomposition reaction, but that is the large topic, so it can be asked to you in 3 marks also. Now, in combination reaction, generally we have studied that it is our exothermic reaction. It is our exothermic reaction. So, what will be there in exothermic? First of all, according to heat, we will have two types of reaction: exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction means in which heat is released, and endothermic reaction means in which heat is given, right? So that is our endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction, right? So this way different definitions and different examples of corresponding chemical reactions can be asked to you in this 2 marks of question. The definitions of exothermic and endothermic can be also asked to you in board examination also and in your unit examination also. Okay, there are also 2 important topics, that is rancidity and corrosion. Now we know what is called corrosion. When any of metal comes in contact with moist, right? When it comes in contact with water and oxygen, so it will have an oxide layer around it. That is called corrosion. In that there is rusting of iron. So the other is the green patches on the copper vessel, right? The silver metal, it will get dull, its shining will get dull. So that all is such type of corrosion, and it's also one type of oxidation process. In rancidity, it's also very important topic. When the food which contains fatty acid, right? So when it get oxidized, so its smell and its taste both will get changed, right? So in this case, that when the food's material when it comes in contact with oxygen, it will get oxidized and its smell and its taste is changed. That means we can say that our food is getting rancid. Okay, now how we can get rid from this rancidity? So it's simple. We have to use different antioxidants which will protect our food by getting oxidized. So we are adding different antioxidants to protect our food from the rancidity. Right? So this way, from chapter number 1 in question number 17 and question number 18, such type of 2 marks of question can be asked to you. Again, when we can say that chemical reaction take place, so it can be asked to you that change in color, state, temperature and evolution of gas is there. Also they can ask different types of chemical reaction, means their definitions and then 1 or 2 examples we have to prepare. We will prepare it for combination reaction, for decomposition reaction, for displacement reaction, for double displacement. Instead of double displacement, they can also ask you that what is called precipitation reaction. Then we can move on the definitions of exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. After that, we can also have a concept of rancidity and corrosion. So these are the important topics which can be asked to you from chapter number 1. Yes, one more thing is there. It can be also asked to you in 2 marks of question, or it can be there for 1 marks of question, that is balancing the chemical equation or to complete the chemical equation. Right? Suppose somehow they can ask you like this, that if Fe plus CuSO4, this is our aqueous medium and this is our solid. So complete the reaction. In that case, we know that we will get FeSO4, that will be aqueous, plus Cu. See beta, it is very necessary, whenever completing the reaction is asked, it's very necessary to maintain the state. If you have not maintained the state, so it can be given wrong to you. So it is very necessary that in completing the chemical equation, you have to mention the state. Another equation, let's see for our study, H2SO4. Just think over it. Yes, it's right. What we will get? We will get ZnSO4 plus H2. Again, it is very necessary to write its states. So hydrogen will be there in form of gas, which will get evaporated. Right? So this way, balancing the chemical equation or completing the chemical equation can be also asked to you in 2 marks from our chapter number 1. Now, let's see which type of question can be asked from chapter number 2. That is for our question number 19. So as we all know that our chapter number 2 is acid, base and salt. So from that view, that what is called acid, what is called base and what is called salt. Okay, so what is called acid? So which will be sodium base, which contains H plus, that is acid. What is called base, which contains OH minus, right, and which is bitter in taste, it will be base. And salt. So how the salt is formed? According to that, we can have neutralization reaction. So dear, what will be there in neutralization reaction? So as we know that when acid and base react with each other, they will give us salt plus water. Let's take one example. HCl plus NaOH. It will give us NaCl plus H2O. Right, this way. Many other examples also you can prepare. Right, so from acid and base, this type of neutralization reaction, an example of neutralization reaction can be asked to us. Okay, also there are some important topics which can be asked to you in 2 marks, like what is called indicators. What is called indicators and types of indicators. Right, in that there is one very most important one, that the universal indicator and olfactory indicator. Yes, what is olfactory indicator? Okay, the indicator means whenever the acidic or basic solution is, right, so this olfactory indicator, it indicates the compound's acidity by changing its smell. Okay, so from smell, this olfactory indicator is indicated. Right, we can also write the examples of olfactory indicators, universal indicators. There will be some natural indicators also. So the topic of indicators that can be also important to you for question number 19 from chapter number 2 for 2 marks. Okay, also some definitions and examples of weak acid, weak base, strong acid, strong base. Okay, so simple beta. Your strong is the concept of complete ionization. If the acid it get completely ionized, that is called strong acid. And if the base which get completely ionized by adding water into it, that is called strong base. Similarly, the weak acid and weak base means by adding water into it, by doing dilution of it, if the acid or base is not completely ionized, so that they are known as corresponding weak acid and weak base. Okay. Also the another concept of dilution. What do you mean by dilution? Dilution means adding of water. Dilution means what? Adding of water in acid or base, that is called dilution, right? So this way, some important questions of 2 marks is there in our chapter number 2, acid, base and salt, that is neutralization reaction, then indicators in the types of indicators and their examples, then definitions of weak acid, strong acid, right? Weak base, strong base, dilution. Okay, right. Importance of pH. In that also there are some important questions like importance of pH in stomach. In that we are talking about acidity. So it can be asked that what is called acidity and write the antacids, or what are called antacids, give its example. So this type of question can be also asked to you. Importance of pH in soil. That's also the important one for 2 marks from our second chapter. Also we can think that the uses of different salts, in that the uses of bleaching powder or uses of plaster of Paris, that can be also asked to us. Right? In bleaching powder we know that it is used in textile industry to bleach papers, to bleach papers also it is used. It's also used to to make germ free, right? To make water germ free it's used. Right? So this way the uses of different salts, it can be asked to you in 2 marks for question number 19 from our chapter number 2. Right? So this way there are many different questions of 2 marks. I think you got the idea that which type of question can be there from chapter number 2. For 2 marks, again it can be different definitions also, it can be neutralization reaction with different example, it can be indicators, right? It can be uses of different salts, and one more thing, it can be also the chemical properties of acid or chemical properties of base. Instead of asking all of the chemical property, they can ask you like this, that explain what happens when acid reacts with metal. So in that case, it must be clear in our mind that when acid it reacts with metal, it will always give us salt and dihydrogen gas. Okay, so this way some of the important questions can be asked from chapter number 2, right? That is our acid, base, and from chapter number 5. As we all know, it's related to the periodic table. So some simple questions like what is called group, what is called periods, that can be asked, then tribes of Dobrino, right? But that is quite big question, so that can be asked to you in 3 marks. Then law of Newland or octaves rule, it can be asked to us at every 8 element. The properties is getting repeated, so that is our octave rule. In group, as we all know, that the vertical line, right? So that is considered as group, and the horizontal line in our modern periodic table, that is considered as period. Total 7 periods are there and 18 groups are there in our modern periodic table, right? So this common concept must be clear in our mind. Okay. Also in this chapter they can ask you different questions which already we have discussed in our in-text exercise and the textual exercise, right? Name the element whose atomic mass is, its atomic number is 30 and write its electronic configuration. So we must know that 30 number is of aluminium and its electronic configuration will be 283. Okay, this way they can ask you. Also if I make a different question, that name the element who is having double or triple. Let's take this example, that who is having 3 times more electron in its second orbit in comparison to first. So it must be clear that this is the first orbit and this is the second orbit. The maximum electron in first orbit is 2 and in second orbit there is 3 times more. So here it will be 6. Now which element it is, because here it's atomic. Here you can see its atomic number, we will get 8, and 8 number element, that will be our oxygen. So this type of question can be asked to you, that name the element who contains 3 times more electrons in the second orbit in comparison to first orbit. So this way you can do the calculation and you can find the element. Okay, also they can ask you that what was limitations of Dobriner's triad, okay, or also they can give you different atomic masses and they can ask you that whether this is the triad or not. So this type of question can be asked to you from chapter number 5. So it's very simple, that for understanding for writing the question of 2 marks from chapter number 5, it must be clear in our mind that laws which was related to octave rule, right? Also we have to understand triads, Dobriner's triads. Then we can go towards Mendeleev's periodic table, our modern periodic table. So some of the concepts, it must be clear. Whole of the concept of modern periodic table must be clear in our mind. Okay, and 1 to 20 elements in which group it is placed. Like suppose if I give you the nitrogen, so in which period and in which group nitrogen is present, this type of question can be asked to you, right? So this way we can complete our chapter number 5 for 2 marks in our question number 20. Okay, so it's clear that the different short questions, 1 marks of 2 questions can be also there in our 5th chapter. Then as you can see that in 21 numbered question there will be alternative from chapter 86 chapter. Now as that's your favorite chapter, so what can be asked from chapter number 6? So it is simple, different life process, that definitions can be asked, that what is called nutrition, what is called digestion. In digestion, okay, if we take about the digestive system, so they can also ask you the small points of it, like digestion in stomach, or explain role of HCl in stomach. So what is role of HCl? So it will break down the food particles. Also it will provide the acidic medium to food particles, and also it will kill bacteria, right? So this way it can be asked you. Also they can ask you that which enzymes is responsible in digestion, or the gastric enzymes. So that will be amylase, lipase, trypsin, and what is their functions, it can be also there. Okay, so this type of question can be there from chapter number 6. Also there can be difference between arteries and veins. Difference between arteries and veins. Okay, in amoeba they can ask you to draw the nutrition in amoeba and just to label it. Also different diagrams can be asked, that the diagram of heart is given and you have to label that, or our excretory system is drawn, or you have to draw the excretory system and you have to label it. So such type of question can be there from chapter number 6, right? And it will be in alternative. Okay, so also from chapter number 6 they can ask you the very short questions, but in particular A and B. Suppose if I take this question number 21, so in that there will be section A and section B also. So here also they can ask you some objective type of questions. So it is clear in our mind that from chapter number 6, the short questions, it can be asked to us, it can be related to digestive system. Instead of asking whole digestive system, they can ask you like this, that digestion in stomach, or role of HCl, or role of bile juice. So as we know that bile juice, it's an alkaline medium, it will provide us the alkaline medium. Okay, so this way we can understand our chapter number 6 for 2 marks. So this way also the question can be asked to you from chapter number 6. Okay, so it's clear that from chapter number 6 they can ask us difference between veins and arteries, They can also ask us to draw different figures and just to label the figures. Also they can ask like this functions of HCl or functions of bile juice in our body. It can be also asked that what is called nutrition and types of nutrition. Yes, in that there is autotrophs and heterotrophs. So write short note on autotrophic mode of nutrition. So this way also it can be asked. Also they can ask to us in 2 marks that the function of stomata, right? How exchange of gas is done through stomata, right? So this is also the important question. Many times it is asked in board examination also. So such type of short questions, right, of 2 marks can be asked from chapter number 6, and it will be very easy, right? It will be not any of difficult level. Now, if we talk about question number 22 and 23, which will be related to of chapter number 10. So it's simple with that which type of question can be there from chapter number 10. So there will be what is called reflection and laws of reflection. Okay. Also they can ask us that types of reflection. So what is called reflection? The phenomena of bouncing back of light from the medium, right? So that is considered, from the surface. So that is considered reflection. Types of reflection, regular reflection and irregular reflection. Also we can write their definitions and their examples. Laws of reflection. So as we know that angle of incident and angle of reflection both will be same. Then incident ray normal drawn to the surface, like this incident ray normal drawn to the surface, and the reflective ray that will lie in a same plane. So this way the reflection, laws of reflection of types of reflection can be asked to us in 2 marks. Also from the name of the chapter it can also ask that what is called refraction. So as we know what is called reflection, when a light enters from one transparent medium to another transparent medium, it will changes its direction. So that is called refraction. Now according to that we have understood that there will be RDT or DRA, means when light moves from rarer medium to denser medium, it will move towards the normal, or when light moves from denser medium to rarer medium, it will move away from the normal. So this type of concept must be clear in our mind for question number 22 and 23, which will be from chapter number 10. Also here we know that the laws of refraction. Yes, in that the first law what we have studied, that incident ray I normal drawn to the surface and refracted ray that all will lie in a same plane. The second rule, as we know, that incident angle sign and refractive angle sign that will be always constant, and from that we can have eta 1 sine I is equal to eta 2 sine R. That is our Snell's law, which can be also there for 2 marks. Okay. So this way, what is reflection and types of reflection, laws of reflection. Similarly, what is refraction and laws of refraction can be asked to us in 2 marks. Also, they can ask us that the uses of mirror and uses of lens. So it is very necessary to understand the uses of mirror and uses of lens. It's already we have discussed in our earlier video, so you can go through it, right? Okay. Some other important topics are also there for 2 marks, like what is called power of lens. So what we have studied, lens, there will be 2 types of lens, converging lens or diverging lens. So the ability, power means what? That is the ability. So the power of lens means it's the ability of lens to converge or to diverge light ray which is incident on it, that is called power of lens. And as we have studied that the power of lens, it will be inversely proportional to its focal length, where F stands for what? Focal length. And here the unit will be meter inverse, or it will be diopter, right? So power of lens derive its formula, right? P is equal to 1 upon F, and its unit that can be also asked to us SI unit of power of lens, that's diopter. When it will be positive, when it will be negative, that can be also asked to us in objective also and in 2 marks of question also. Okay, sometimes they can ask you, we have also understood about the image formations by concave mirror, convex mirror. Similarly, convex lens and concave lens. So from this, any of question can be asked to you like this. Then suppose this is pole P. This mirror, that is our, yes, it's concave mirror. So suppose this focus point, this is center of curvature. Different definitions is also important, that what is called focus point or what is called center of curvature. So that can be also there. Now this type of question can be asked to you, that for a concave mirror, if the object is placed beyond center of curvature, where the image will be. So as we all know that when it is parallel, it will pass from F, passing from F, that will be parallel. So where will we get the image? We will get the image, the object is our AB, we will get the image between C and F. And how that image will be, right? So object, where the object is beyond C. Where the image is formed between C and F. How the image is? So first it is inverted, real, and it is diminished. Right? So this way, in 2 marks also they can ask to you that for any of mirror or any of lens, that if the object is placed here, so where the image we will get, which type of image we will get, and what will be its dimension. Okay, so it's very necessary to prepare the image formations by different type of mirrors and different type of lens, right? So it's clear in our mind that from chapter number 10 for 2 marks of question, different definitions can be there, uses of mirror or lens can be there, image formations, any of one image formation they can ask to you from this particular image formations by mirror and image formations by lens, definition of reflection, refraction, definition of eta means the refractive index. As we know that eta is equal to what? It is C over V. Okay. Also laws of reflection, laws of refraction, and power of lens. It can be asked to you in question number 22 and 23 for chapter number 10. Now, in chapter number 11 for question number 24, it's 11 or the another question that will be also from 11. Now if you have studied the chapter number 11 completely, then you will used to know that in previous boards paper also and in our regular sessions also, that for 2 marks of question, right, generally the scientific reasons they are asking us, that why sky is blue or why in signal we are using red color more. Okay, so such type of questions can be asked from us in chapter number 11. Also, just to draw the human eye, okay, it can be also asked to us, okay, functions of different parts of eye, like what is the function of eyes or what is function of ciliary, asked to us from chapter number 11, means some of the or diagram of human eye, it can be asked, okay, functions of different parts of human eye. Okay, so it's very important. And see, when you will prepare this, you will secure your 3 marks if the question, the short note on human eye is asked to you in 3 marks. Okay, so it's very necessary to understand the drawing and the functions of particular parts of eye. After that we have understood about defects of eye. Okay, so in defects of eye, generally that is a question of 3 marks, but they can ask you the difference between myopia and hypermetropia if it is asked in 2 marks. So we will write only the 4 difference, but generally that type of question is asked in 3 marks. Okay. In that, some of the definition, that what is called far point and what is called near point. It's important. Right? What is the far point for us? Infinity, and the near point is 25 centimeter. Means we can't see the objects clearly when it is placed less than 25 centimeter, right? And till what distance we are able to see the object clearly? Till the infinite distance. So that will be our far point, right? So definitions of near point and definitions of far point is important. Okay. Also, we have to understand the definition of dispersion spectrum. So what is dispersion? So separation of white light into its 7 different colors, that is considered as dispersion of light. And the spectrum, we are getting the spectrum with your VIBGYOR. So that will be V stands for violet, I stands for indigo, B stands for Bhaviksoni, no it is blue, G stands for green, Y stands for yellow, O stands for orange, and R stands for red. Okay, so this full form of Vibgyor, it's almost clear in your mind, so it can be asked to you in 1 marks also. In dispersion, we know generally it is done by prism, right? So refraction due to prism, that will be in 3 marks of question. Dispersion and recombination, that can be also asked to us in 3 marks, so we are not going to discuss it in the topic of 2 marks. But some scientific reason that why sky is blue, why red color is used in signal. Okay, what is called scattering of light? What is Tyndall's effect? Okay, so such type of question can be there in 2 marks. Now let's understand that why sky is blue. So we know when light enters, suppose this is our medium of Earth and this is our atmosphere. So when light enters into our atmosphere, in our atmosphere there are more minute particles. We have studied that the small particles it will scatter short wavelength, right, in more portion, and the large particles they will scatter red color because it is of long wavelength. So when the sunlight enters into our atmosphere of Earth, which is made up of minute particles, due to that minute particles, light it will scatter the blue light most, and due to that we are able to see our sky blue. Now what is scattering? So when on a particle, when light is incident, so it reflects the light in every direction, that is considered as scattering of light. So why sky is blue? Because when light enters into atmosphere of our Earth, due to minute particles they will scatter short wavelength, means blue color more. So that is called, that's why we can see that the sky is blue. Why in signals we are using red color? So we know that the red color is scattered by the large particles, as in signal, what is our main aim? That signal must be seen for a long time. Okay, so we are using red color because red color will be scattered by large particles, and large particles will be in less portion, right? So as it is in less portion, it will scatter less. So when we have given the red color signal, so it can stay there for a long time. That's why we are using red color in signals, right? And similarly, the Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? And then examples. It can be also asked to us in 2 marks for question number 24. Okay. Now the last one, that is our chapter number 15. From that 2 marks of question will be there for your question number 25 and question number 26. Just earlier we have completed this chapter 15, so I don't think so that you are having any of difficulties in it. But there are some important topics for environment. After environment, what is called ecosystem, right? So the definitions of ecosystem. What is called ecosystem? It can be asked to us. In that we will have natural ecosystem, and the another one is artificial ecosystem. So short note on natural ecosystem, it can be asked to us, or what is called ecosystem, like the types of ecosystem, it can be asked to us, and also the examples of ecosystem. As we have studied the natural ecosystem, its existence is done naturally. We don't need any human activity to regulate the natural ecosystem. While in artificial ecosystem, it is man-made ecosystem, right? For that, human activities are necessary. Okay. In natural ecosystem, we will have two other types: terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. In terrestrial, we know that different land, deserts that will become, and in aquatic there will be different water bodies. In artificial ecosystem, we are talking about botanic gardens, right? Also, we can understand about aquarium. So such type of questions can be there from chapter number 15. Here you can see that it's very beneficial for us, right? If we divide chapter number 15 completely, because it will give us 2 marks for 25th question and 2 marks for 26th question. Okay, some other concept also it can be asked, like why the flow of energy is unidirectional. So see beta, this question can be there for 2 marks also, and it can be there for 3 marks also, because we know how the flow of energy is from producers to carnivores. In that carnivores we will have herbivores. From herbivores to carnivores. From carnivores to higher level of carnivores. Okay, so always this flow is in one direction. We can't reverse the flow. Okay, so that's why we can consider that the flow of energy is unidirectional. One more question is also very important. What is called biological magnification? Okay, so the concept of biological magnification is that we have studied that the farmers, they are using insecticides and pesticides more, so it gets into soil. Okay, from soil it will be gained by producers. Producers are given by herbivores. So in that there will be toxic non-biodegradable compounds which will transfer from one trophic level to another trophic level, and when they are transferring from one trophic level to another trophic level, as it is toxic and as they are non-biodegradable, it will increase its concentration. So that phenomena is considered as biological magnification, that also we have studied. Also, the difference between biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste, it can be asked to you also in 2 marks. So for that you can write 4 to 5 points, right? What is biodegradable, which can decompose, which can break down by biochemical process, that is biodegradable, and which cannot get decomposed by such type of biochemical reactions, that is called non-biodegradable, right? Then we can give their examples, right? We have discussed that in our chapter, so you can also go through the video and you can find out it well. So from the chapter number 15, this type of very simple questions are there. So this type of question can give you 2 marks for 25th question, and 2 marks it can be beneficial for you for 26th question. So this way we have done our revision of section of 2 marks, right? So in 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26. According to the chapters and according to their marks, we have discussed that which type of question can be asked to us, right? In our previous videos and your worksheets and whatever the material is provided to you, in that it's already given. You can go through it. You have also prepared a well notes, right? So you can read the notes. You will take this revision video as a reference, and you can prepare it according to the blueprint, according to the paper style, and surely you will get more marks in your exam, right? So hope you have understood our 2 marks of session. So you will go through it and you will do it your best.